welcome back to my channel, and thanks so much for spending just part of your day with me. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Michawn. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell next to it so you don't miss an upload. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my delivery experience of my second child, Isaiah, and he was a cesarean delivery. Now, there are so many differences in regards to a planned cesarean and emergency cesarean, and I have experience with both of them. So stay tuned so you can get more information and just hear about all the crazy stuff that I have to say. Hashtag mom life hair.
Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Alright, so as you can see, we got up super early to get to the hospital. My delivery time was at 8, check-in time was at 6. We didn't get to the hospital till about 6:20, 6:25. We were running late, but it was all right. I delivered my son at, 8:42 a.m. I believe. So it did not take long at all. I was back there probably the longest for them to close me up. But my experience this go around was way smoother than the first time. Now, I was way more nervous the second time than I was with my first son, because with the first one, there's a lot of stuff you don't know going into it. So it's a different kind of nervousness. I was hoping to have him naturally, vaginally, but that did not happen. I had an emergency C-section because his heart rate was really low and my blood pressure was really high. So, and I didn't break my water on my own. They had to break it for me. And the way they broke it for me the first time was putting a balloon in me to pop it. I'm not gonna get into details of it, but it was not pleasant and it was painful. So yeah, and yeah, that part happened. But the second time, I was completely prepared for everything, and I think that's what made me a little bit more nervous. It's because I knew going into it what I was expecting and what was gonna happen. My doctor literally went over what was gonna happen my last 3 visits. So 3 times I was told what was gonna happen, and I think that kind of made me more nervous. So basically we checked in. I go to the triage area where they put all my IVs in me. The first nurse that put the IV, she tried to put it like right here on my wrist, and it was so painful. She could not find a vein or anything, and I'm like, girl, everyone can find my vein right here in my arm. Go ahead and put it right here. So the second nurse, she put it right there, and I got all of the medicine and all of the insulin and all of the hydration stuff, whatever it was all in there. And that's where you start off in the triage area. Now these are just for, I don't know how vaginal delivery goes, but cesarean, you go to your triage area, you get monitored for about 20 minutes, they hook you up to all of your IVs, and you're in there for, I think we're in there for probably about an hour. You gotta answer some questions about your history, what shots that you got, what shots that you didn't get. and then you undress and you lay there until your surgical nurse comes and gets you. She tells you again what everything's gonna happen and how everything's gonna go. Then you meet your anesthesiologist. He tells you how everything's gonna go, how everything's gonna happen, and then you walk over to the OR. Literally walk over to the OR. It was completely different than the first time. So the first time I actually labored for about 28 hours, and I didn't get my epidural for the first 7 hours because most of my friends that have kids, their kids are older, like 10 and older, so they told me not to get the epidural too early because it could wear off and they won't give me anymore. Fun fact, that's not true because nowadays you get this button that you get to press once they put the epidural in you, and if you feel any pain, you press the button and the medicine shoots through your back and you feel nothing. So I'm sure most people know that now, but if you don't, no, getting an epidural too early is not a thing. That's not a thing. I was actually wheeled out on a hospital bed to the OR. The first time they were trying to be as calm as they could be, but I could tell the franticness of all of the nurses trying to get me to the OR to get my first son. His name is Caleb. Trying to get me prepped to get Caleb out because of the situations that we were in, with his heart rate being too low and my blood pressure being way too high. So they kicked it in a high gear and we went on, and wham, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, they got him out. The second time with Isaiah, it was pretty much the same thing. The only difference was when I got my epidural with the anesthesiologist, my husband was not there. The first time he was, the second time he wasn't, and it hurt a lot more this time. I don't remember the first time. Maybe I just blocked it out of my memory because it was that dramatic, but this second time, it hurt so bad. He was like moving the needle through my back and everything, so it was not pleasant, or it was only satisfying afterwards when I couldn't feel anything. So yeah, so all the nurses are in there talking in calm voices, calming you down. They're super nice. The team that I had was amazing with Isaiah. They were amazing. And I actually had my OB deliver Isaiah. She did not deliver Caleb because she was on call, or she wasn't on call. There was another doctor that was on call because my doctor during that time, she actually had surgery scheduled. But anyways, with Isaiah, like I said, walking the OR, they told me everything, what was happening. I got my epidural, I laid back, they gave me my oxygen, they kept me warm because I was freezing, and 5 minutes later, they brought my husband in. He's in his little, birthday party. They call it a birthday party outfit and give you your birthday party hat because we're having a birthday party because there's a child being born. And once my husband was in there, it's about 20 minutes after that, that's when Isaiah was born. They brought him out, cleaned him up. My husband got to go look at him, take pictures and everything. I got to hold him, take pictures, kiss him and everything. And then I was in the OR for probably another 30 minutes as they were closing me up, and I was good to go. I went to the recovery room. I was there for about an hour and a half. My husband already had Isaiah when I came back. They were just waiting for me. And then that's when I attempted to start to nurse because your colostrum comes in. It's touch and go. Your kid's not really gonna get it the first time around, but you still try, and you think that the nurses are hurting them because they like push their head into your breast to make sure that they can latch on. But I guess this all comes as second nature because that's what happens. He's latching on perfectly now. But yeah, so I was in there for about an hour and a half, and this is probably the worst part, the most pain that you feel, because they have to make sure that your uterus kind of shrinks back down. After they take the baby and the placenta out, they need to make sure everything gets back into place and moves back to normal. So they have to push down on your tummy, and it hurts so bad because it's like everything is swollen on the inside. Everything is just ballooned out. So you have to keep pushing down. It's probably every 20 minutes that they have to do it. And then, of course, check your incision and make sure, everything's right. It's not bleeding, in all the wrong places or profusely. So, yeah, but Then you don't get anything to eat. Then you get some ice chips. You can't drink anything. You just get some ice chips for like the first couple of hours. And then apparently now the hospital that I was at, they're doing something different where they don't give you a lot of narcotics or any really at all. I was on, extra strength Tylenol and Motrin. So with Caleb, the first time I was on that epidural for a really good while, probably a couple of days. Maybe, yeah, it was the day that I delivered him and then the day after, I remember that. And then they switched from that epidural and then they gave me morphine. So I had the button to push the morphine too. I believe it was morphine or unless it was Motrin. I don't know, but it was more narcotics than anything. And so they're changing over, I guess, to be a little bit more holistic, which I can appreciate because with Caleb, I was sent home with Percocet. And I started to feel myself get a little bit addicted to it. And not really addicted in the sense of becoming an addict and wanting more being prescribed to me. Don't get me wrong, I did use up all of the refills that I did have. I think I had maybe one. I don't think it was two, I think it was just one. But feeling the need that I needed it to not feel any pain and to be able to sleep and to feel better. So I guess that's the definition of, getting addicted to something, but I knew that it was happening. So I stopped after I got that first refill. I didn't finish it. I just set it aside and it's like, you know what? I don't need this. After 8 weeks, I don't really need this. This is not normal. This shouldn't be happening. So I didn't say anything to anybody. I just kind of pushed it to the side and kept my ibuprofen. They give you 800 milligram ibuprofen. I just pushed it all to the side and said, you know what, I need to stop doing that because this isn't helping at all. Like, I'm feeling really lethargic, groggy, and although it feels good in the moment, like, what is this? I don't need it. So I can appreciate that they changed up their, not procedure, but the way that they administer or the drugs that they administer to what they give you for recovery. And they say they want to do it to get moms back on their feet. Not saying they want to push us out to get back into like life and like working, but I can appreciate this time bonding with Isaiah that was different from with Caleb because like right now it's been 4 weeks since I've had Isaiah and I literally feel like I've been able to be up and going faster with Isaiah than with Caleb. With Caleb, I felt like I was always in the bed, didn't want to get up. Reaching over for things it hurt way more with Caleb than it did with Isaiah. Now I'm not gonna say that it didn't hurt at all this time. It did. It still hurts. Like it's still really tender and everything. But I can appreciate the change in medication that they give you, that they gave me the second go around. So yeah. And then I was in once you're done with recovery, then they send you over to your room. The rooms were nice that we were in, and we were in the hospital for 3 to 4 days. We were admitted on Tuesday. We left on Friday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We left Friday afternoon. So it was like 3.5 days we were there. With Caleb, we were there for 5 days because I labored for a whole day and a half before I had him. So yeah, and you can eat. With Caleb, I could not eat for 24 hours afterwards. With Isaiah, I ate as soon as I went to my room, they asked me for my lunch order. And I ordered lunch, ate dinner, and everything was fine after that. I had a great nursing staff that took care of me. They were really, really awesome. And I sent Isaiah to the nursery more than I did sending Caleb because I thought I didn't want to keep my eyes off of him. But once after your first child, it's so true what they say. Everything is so different with your second one because you know what to do. You know that that kids are okay with certain things. It's okay to let them cry, especially when you know they're different cries. Now, when they're hungry, of course you jump up and get them their food because if you're hungry, you want to eat right away, right? But you know those cries of just boredom or just I want to be held. They can wait for a couple of minutes while you finish doing what it is that you need to do. So yeah, so the difference with that, with those 2 cesareans was just that. I felt way more calm this second time once everything started. once the surgery started, once I was there. Like I said, I fell asleep once my doctor started to close me back up because it took longer than it did the first time. But I fell asleep because I knew I was in great hands. Yeah, so those are the two differences, or those are the differences that I had with my 2 cesareans. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have more to come. I had my first day out with baby, and I'm excited to show you guys because it was just a mall trip, but it was like everything to me. But yeah, so keep watching these videos. If you enjoy them, please let me know in the comments below. Give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell next to it so you don't miss an upload. But for real, y'all, let me know in the comments below what else you want to know about my experience in regards to my cesareans, in regards to raising my first child, in regards to having 2 now, adding to the mix, and how that's going. I'm definitely going to keep these weekly videos up with notifying you guys, or keeping you guys up to date with how everything's going. And I have a lot of different reviews that I'm doing for different products that I have bought and that were gifted to me. So make sure you tune in, come back, and watch more. All right? Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.